Hello there guys and welcome back to a Spain review on my channel. We are back again today. It's been a while, international football has been gone, but it's back in March, as it always is, every single year, and it's going to be some fixtures for Spain that we need to be covering this time. We've first got the game against Norway, which we're going to be covering today, of course, and the game against Malta, which will be played away on Tuesday. I'll be reviewing that on Wednesday for you guys. So yeah, last night Spain played Norway, got the 2-1 victory. It kicks off our Euro 2020 campaign in a good way, I suppose. It's 3 points. It's what we needed. And you guys, if you watch the game, will know it could have been more. For those of you who haven't, don't worry, I'll be going through it as best as I can, basically, reviewing what happened, giving my opinion on how I think we did, who played well, etc. And let's do this. So without any further ado, let's start with the lineup. This was always going to be an interesting one. I felt as if Luis Enrique's squad selection, as always, was very controversial. And again, people made predicted lineups, and it was something similar to this. He went De Gea in goal. We all knew he'd do that. He's not been good for Spain, but he just persists with him, and because of his name, essentially, over the likes of Kepa, Pau, and well, that's the three he's gone with. It isn't every single squad selection. Yeah, De Gea in goal. Right back was a big spot. I think everyone predicted he'd go with Sergio Roberto there, but he ended up playing Navas. I really enjoyed the way Navas played last night. I was worried in a back four how he'd do. I know he'd been playing in a back five in that wing-back role for Sevilla, and that's how he's got back into the national team, but I thought in a four he'd struggle, but he did really, really well, putting in great balls, and I'll get onto him a little bit later. In defence, we saw that partnership of Ramos and Inigo Martinez again. Still not sure how I feel about that. I definitely prefer Ramos as a left centre-back, even though he's right-footed. And is Inigo Martinez the answer to cover PK? I'm not sure. We've tried Inigo Martinez, we've tried Nacho. When are we going to find the right fit? Not sure yet. I think that's another position that's up for grabs. Left-back, Jordi Alba's now back in the squad, so he started. I think we're covered for left-backs. We've got Alba there, Gaya's coming up through the ranks. We've also got Bernat, who's in the squad now. But, you look even to Barca B, those sorts of players, Cucurella, Miranda, they'll be in there in the future. Reguilon in Real Madrid. So I think as if left-back is a position we've definitely got covered. But Alba, with a great game last night, actually. His first great game for a while for the national team, that is. Into midfield, this was another interesting one. I think Busquets and Ceballos have almost cemented their spots in Luis Enrique's squad now. Good for Ceballos, that, getting so many regular starts in the national team. And then who was going to join him? I think he went for Parejo simply because we were playing at Mestalla. Could that give him the advantage? In my opinion, it didn't really. I don't think he gave us much to the midfield. Put in a good set piece from Morata header, which was really well saved by the goalkeeper Jarstein. But apart from that, I don't think he did much. He just played very safe, simple, and we really didn't need him in the midfield yesterday, in my opinion. And then onto the front three, it was exciting, it really was. Rodrigo, Asensio and Morata. I think individually, they didn't actually have that good games, but what I will say is that they created a lot of danger. They were quick, they were sharp, they were getting in the right areas, and I liked that from the front three. We had a lot of chances last night, and I think that the team selection did play a big part in that. So on to how the game goes. I was really pleased with it, basically. I felt as if we started really strong. Navas and Alba were constant threats down that right and left-hand side, getting balls in. Morata throughout the game had plenty of headed chances, especially. Asensio was creating danger down the left, Rodrigo coming in through the right, and it was Rodrigo there coming in towards the penalty spot who got us the opening goal. Great pullback by Alba, actually, after Asensio slotted him in. That's what Alba's so good at, and that's a brilliant goal, actually, by Rodrigo, the way he comes across, beats into the corner, and 15 minutes in, you're thinking it's going to be plain sailing for Spain, and it basically was. Rodrigo had a chance, just 5 minutes later, good save at the near post. We kind of cooled off a bit at the end of that first half. Norway probably should have equalised. A big chance for Elianusi right on the goal line, almost deflected it away, though. But apart from that, a comfortable first half for Spain. I was pleased with how we were playing. I don't know how Morata didn't get in the score sheet in the first half, neither in the second. He had a couple of headed chances in there, both probably should have gone in, and we were just praying he'd get a goal in the second half. As you guys know, he didn't. We moved on to that second half, didn't start it entirely well. I felt as if we were a little bit half asleep. And in the end, Norway got a really controversial penalty around about the 65th minute or so. Joshua King converted after Inigo Martinez allegedly brought down his man, but I think that was definitely up for some controversy, that decision. Almost a minute later, we kept doing what we were doing, though. We were getting into really lovely wide areas, almost on the edge of the penalty area, and just little dinked balls in towards Morata and Rodrigo, and it was working brilliantly. Navas was doing it, Asensio was doing it, Ceballos was doing it, Parejo not so much, in fairness. I don't think he did much, as I previously mentioned. Rodrigo was more of an attacker, so he wasn't doing it, but also Jordi Alba. It was mainly Ceballos, Navas, Asensio and Alba there, who were getting some really good little balls into the box, and we were coming close on several occasions in there. Morata heading over, and it was only a matter of time, in my opinion, before we got that second goal and got back in front. I know, if we had drawn this game, I don't think I would have been able to believe it. The fact that it's 2-1 is still ridiculous, in my opinion, because people will look at that and think, well, it's still a bit shaky. And yes, we are, because we've only won 2-1 here, and that's the end of it, really. We have only won 2-1, that's the reality. But the performance was there. It really was. It was really, really nice to see. Some fast football, basically. I hate when we just pass sideways, and I think Parejo tried doing that, but apart from him, we were able to get the ball up nice and quick. And yeah, as I said, there were dinky balls in. Morata came close. Morata then wins the penalty, and as always, our captain Ramos steps up. He converts a lovely Panenka penalty, his 5th straight international game with a goal, so that's really, really good from him. He's getting goals from the back, important ones too. We always seem to need a goal from Ramos in there, especially from the spot, and he's much better at penalties now, ever since that one he blazed over the bar in Munich, or against Munich, in it was it 2012? Yeah, it was, the year Chelsea won it. In the Champions League, he's been much better at spot kicks. Who came on? We brought Canales on in there. We brought Rodri on in there to try and augment the midfield. And also a late appearance there for Jaime Mata, getting his debut for the national team. So yeah, a couple of debuts in there from Canales and also Jaime Mata off the bench. And all in all, I was very, very pleased with the performance. I can't lie to you guys. I'll go through individual players now, because I felt as if the all-round performance was really good. And there were a few guys that stood out and a few that dropped off. In goal, De Gea, it's not like they exactly attacked us, so I can't say much. Maybe he could have saved the penalty. It was a good one from King. As always, I don't think he suits the national team. He's clearly not confident, but he started in goal. And, he didn't exactly do much wrong. Didn't do anything right either. Right back, Navas. This was something I was really, really happy to see. I felt as if Navas was absolutely perfect for how a Spain right back should be. Wasn't bad defensively. Positioning was great. And he just looked sharp on the ball. He didn't really just want to pass it sideways and backwards all the time. He wanted to take players on, kept on getting to that byline, whipping balls across. And on another day, we know Morata's going to convert them. We do. He's a very inconsistent striker, but he'll always get in those positions. So if Navas and Morata are on the same pitch, or if there's a striker who's willing to run across a 6-yard box and Navas is on that right-hand side, then we're going to be getting joy in the national team. As I mentioned, Ramos and Inigo Martinez, is that the partnership? Is Ramos good enough at right centre-back? I know that sounds weird to say, but yeah, it's kind of a reality. Is Martinez good enough, full stop? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know who's the answer, if I'm being honest. Hermoso, as I said in my other preview, did well in that friendly we had against Bosnia a couple of months ago now, a while ago, isn't it? About 5 months ago. Wow, time flies, eh? And yeah, I still don't think he's the answer. I don't think we found our centre-back yet, and I think we've got to keep looking for him, because right now, that's a big issue for us. Left-back, Jordi Alba's come back in the national team now and done well. As I said, I think we can brush over left-back, because I think even if Alba does badly, we can easily slip in Gaia and Bernat, and I'm sure they'll perform. There's also plenty of youth coming up too, especially from Barca and Real, as I previously said. In midfield, Busquets has got to keep his spot just because of what he gives us, but if not, we've got Rodri, we've got Fabian Ruiz also there, so the CDM role is not an issue for us. In midfield, it looks like Ceballos is now a clear starter. Saul's recent dip in form has meant that other spot is up for grabs though, in the friendly against Malta. Don't be surprised to see someone like either Saul maybe get his role back, or even Canales. I'd be really interested to see what the Betis man can do in midfield. We know how much Setien loves quick attacking football. Could he suit us in that Iniesta role? I don't know, but yeah, if he doesn't, I think we should probably look to different players who aren't in the squad right now. At the top of my head, Alenyad, but I don't think he's ready yet either. But just for the future, basically, guys, there are a few players like that who I just think can give us a little more dynamism in midfield and push us into that attacking box. On the left-hand side, Asensio. I don't know what to think about this guy. He's sharp, he's quick, he's in the good positions, he'll take players on. But there's not really anything there from Asensio. I saw so many times where he got there, right, either put a nice ball into the box like a couple of players were doing, or wait for the overlap and Alba will put it in. And a couple of times he just put in wasteful crosses. If you guys watch the game, you'll notice in the last minute of the game he's clean through on goal, doesn't just sweat it to Rodrigo or pass it in the corner. He tries chipping the goalkeeper from what a stupid decision that was. Goes over the bar. It didn't matter in the end, but say they get an equaliser there, what a fool. Not taking it seriously enough in my opinion. And we all want Asensio to do well. He had that burst in the game against Croatia, as you guys remember. He was excellent that day. Got a couple of assists, got the goals under his belt. But today, I mean last night rather, again for the national team, and again he's doing it for Real Madrid too. Not enough from Asensio. I'll give him a 6 out of 10 because the intention was there at times, but a lot of times I just thought, what on earth are you doing, mate? There's nothing from you. Morata is such a weird one because his movement and positioning is probably the best I've ever seen of a striker. It's up there with the likes of Suarez, getting in those positions, having chances to score. And they always say, don't worry, if you're getting the chances, you'll score eventually. But that isn't the case with Morata, because every game he gets the chances, and a lot of games he doesn't take them. He's always in the right positions. His movement's brilliant, I haven't seen a defender near him in weeks. They never near him, Morata. He's always in free space. He's always in the best positions, but the man cannot finish. He's got unlucky on a couple of those headers, yes, but you think about the one straight after the goal, and as I mentioned, Ceballos dinking it into the box. What a chance that was for him over the bar. And yeah, he doesn't look low on confidence right now. It looks like he's got it back with Atletico. But again, guys, the man cannot finish right now. And moving on to Rodrigo as the final player. Interesting seeing him on the right-hand side. I don't feel as if he's as good there, but when he comes centrally like he did for his goal, and like he did for a couple of driving runs earlier, then he is an effective player, and I do think he belongs in our lineup, Rodrigo. I feel as if he gives us something different up front. He's not too short, he's really good with the ball at his feet, and he's quick and he's sharp, and he's got a good shot on him. I feel as if he does suit us to a T, so I rate Rodrigo, and I'd keep him in there. But other than that, guys, that is where the review is going to come to an end. Please do drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. I'll be back again for the Malta review. Hopefully that's going to be 3 points in it. You'd think it would be, but you never know away from home at these places. Let's just get 3 points. And this time, make use of the great attacking football we're playing. Because if we play like that against Malta, I'd back us to get 5 or 6. But football, it's not the way it goes. And Malta could shock us. We all know that. Expect changes midweek. Expect more excitement from the national team. It's looking good, but again, you can't get up for the national tournament because I've done it 3 years running now, and I've said to myself, just be calm. We'll hope for the best, of course. We'll support the team, but I can't get as hyped as I've been getting over other years because it's letting me down big time. And we know there's gaps that need to be filled. I've gone over the positions that need to be filled, that's for sure. But last night was a really nice way to watch us. We were playing some good stuff, knocking around very quickly indeed, which I was happy to see. Norway aren't the biggest, pushovers in European football right now, so I was happy to see us get a win there. And also in the manner we got it, I thought was really impressive. Great football all round. Just missing the goal, and that comes from our striker Morata, who unfortunately cannot finish, but everything comes around him with the amount of chances he gets. We leech off him rather, and that is really, really good to see. But yeah, as I said, that's what this video is going to come to an end. Drop a like on it if you have enjoyed it. I'll be back very, very soon for another Spain review, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.